What is up, guys? Hope you're all having a good day. So this video is going to go over how to stop out less using time frame analysis. Okay, I get asked all the time, what time frames do I look at? How do I use time frame? This video, we're going to dive in how I use it and also how you can use it to win a lot more of your supply and demand trades. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So we have an SPX chart pulled up. This is actually a trade that I was looking at today. Okay. I didn't end up taking it, but I was looking at it. I'll explain why I didn't take it and my reasoning for that. But if we look here on the 15-minute chart, right, we can see this supply zone right here, okay? Very classic supply zone, right? If you want to look on 30 and the hourly, you want to draw it down to here, call it hourly demand, whatever you want to do, that's fine, okay? It's the same area, same general area of supply that we're looking at. Now, as I'm looking at this, price eventually just goes right through it, all right? And we also have another one right up here, and price just goes right through it like butter, okay? Like there's no sellers at all over there, all right? Now I'm gonna show you basically two different methods on how to essentially avoid this so you're not shorting here and you're not shorting here, okay? Now the first thing that you want to do, and so before I get into that, you might also be thinking, Jordan, you know, price is in a downtrend, right? We have this downtrend here, right? We make the high, we make the new low, right? That's your confirmation, right? Because I talk about trend a lot, right? We break this low, so that shows these sellers are in control, and that this supply zone should hold, but it doesn't hold. Why is that, right? So, two different things. All right, first thing we're going to go over is higher time frame context. So you always want to zoom out to higher time frame. All right, the higher time frame is going to be your best friend. Higher time frame always wins, always going to beat out the smaller time frame. All right, so if we zoom out, let's zoom out even more. Let's zoom out like crazy, right? Let's look at this. Okay, go on the daily chart, look at this. What is the current trend of this right here? Okay, well, price went up, down, down. We're on its way back up. Very obvious that we're in an uptrend, right? And so we're in an uptrend. Price is always looking to go towards highs. So we're looking to go back to this high. We're looking to go back to this high. And yes, I really do zoom out this far, even when I'm trading off 15-minute supply zones. All right. So first thing you have to do is understand overall context of the trend. Trend is up, right? Price wants to go up here to this high. Now, if we zoom in a little even more, right? Go on maybe like a 2-hour or a 3-hour, 4-hour, whatever. If we look at this, we zoom out a little more. We say, okay, we were in a downtrend here, right? But now we're back in the uptrend. Right, so now the medium kind of time frame is lining up with the higher time frame, right? And the last real strong low that we have is going to be down in this area, okay? These are all strong pullbacks, right? We pull back deep, we move higher. Pull back deep, we move higher. And when this happens, we get this push up, and we just consolidate, right? We just have this consolidation area, right? This isn't a real pullback, right? I mean, this pullback from this high to this low is just a tiny bit, right? Not a real pullback. This is what I actually like to call liquidity right here. I can go over this in a different video, but for now, just understand that it's liquidity and this is not a real low. So when price breaks this low, that doesn't mean I am expecting a downtrend. Okay, typically, you know, I say when we get that break, that's the change in trend right there, right? When we see something like this happen, we break that lower low, that's how we know we're starting to shift to a downtrend. But if you can identify that it's actually liquidity and not a real low, that's going to get you out of trouble. But again, the liquidity part is for another video. So, sticking with the higher time frame. Now that we know higher time frame context is long, now that gives a little bit of an idea of, okay, how do we want to trade? What do we want to do going forward? So, we come down, we take liquidity. Now, on the shorter time frame, right, we're in a downtrend. So, if we zoom in even more, you know, price, we made a higher low, then a lower high, and whatever. We just kept doing this back and forth. And we had some real selling, right? We had a massive move lower, little pullback, and another massive move lower. So when you see that happen, you say, Jordan, we're in a short-term downtrend, right? Now if we zoom out one more time frame, we're in an uptrend. And if we zoom out one more time frame again, we're also in an uptrend here, right? So you need to zoom out multiple different time frames so you understand what's really going on, right? We're at the most highest time frame, right, is an uptrend. Zoom in one more, we're still in an uptrend. We zoom in one more, we're in a downtrend, okay? So now that we have the context in place, now in a uptrend, if price is in a higher time frame uptrend, there's going to be a downtrend for every pullback, okay? We're going to see something like this, right? That's the nature of how price moves. For price to have that pullback happen, it needs to be in a shorter term downtrend, just like this. So that's basically what you see right here, right? We have this downtrend of this higher time frame move back up to the highs. Now, when we're in this, downtrend here, the question then becomes, how do we know when, one of these highs is going to break? And should we even be playing these supply zones right here, right? And the answer is, it depends up to you. Like personally, I like to only play with the higher time frame trend. So I really only like to play on the long side during this scenario. But there are some times where you can look to get short off supply, right? Like the supply zone here, downtrend. Come back again, hit the supply zone right here, right? Beautiful downtrend plays. So how do we really identify that these are going to work? And then how do we know when price is actually going to break that? And we're going to start to shift our trend higher, right? Because that was this example right here. Same thing I could have asked myself this morning. How did I know price was going to break this high and I shouldn't be getting short at the supply, right? Even though we're in a downtrend, how did I know that price was actually going to break this high and then continue moving higher? And I'll give you a hint, right? The first real answer is that I don't know, okay? I don't actually know what's going to happen. But there's simple clues that you can do to really figure out and help yourself avoid shorting in this time frame, shorting at this supply, all right? So I'm going to dive into that right now. And what basically is that? It's simply zooming in on another time frame. Again, it's all about time frame and trend. That's all you need to understand. If you can understand time frame and understand trend, you're going to be able to make a lot more money, all right? So let's do that. All right, let's look at the hourly chart. Let's say we're on an hourly supply zone right here. Price comes up to it, and we're looking to short at this supply. Right? You can look at it on SPY, look at it in ES, whatever you want. But I'm just going to look at SPX, right? So we zoom in. We're going to zoom into a 1 minute chart. We're gonna get really, really up in there. All right, 1 minute chart. Okay, that's how far I like to zoom in. Okay, I like to use the 1 minute a lot. 1 or 5 minute, you can zoom in quite a bit. And then we want to see, okay, how does price react to the supply? All right, this is a beautiful question right here. So price, we gap up, small tiny pullback there, we push up higher, come back to another pullback, move higher, pullback, higher, pullback, higher. Okay, what do you notice about this price action right here while we're coming into supply? Okay, you notice two things. We notice demand forms while we're coming into supply. So that's the first thing that you guys have to understand, right? This gap up means that there's demand down here, right? You can even look at it on ES if you wanted to, right? You can see when price comes up to this zone here, we have strong buyers down here. We have demand zones down here, all right? So when we have demand coming up right into supply, that's our first sign, right? If demand is coming right into supply, we want to be a little more cautious. We don't necessarily want to get short at supply right away. The first thing, or the next thing you want to do is simply just wait for that short-term demand to break, okay? That's all you need to know. Ready? And does that ever happen in this example? No. Let me show you. Price comes up, right? We open right here. We push up, we come back down, we move higher, okay? So we come up, we hit this demand zone, 1 minute demand, we end up breaking above this high, just like that, okay? Just like that. Oops. So now that we see push price above this high, we also see this high fail to get below this low, that's our first sign to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't get short at this supply. Maybe we should wait, right? And you may be thinking, well, Jordan, what if I wait? This is what I see a lot of people do this, right? They'll see price come up in the supply, they'll say, okay, I'm gonna be patient, I'm gonna wait for the reaction. It starts coming out of supply, they're like, beautiful, let me go ahead and get short right here. And just rips right above them, they get screwed, okay? The reason why you need to not just wait for it to come out of that supply zone, but you need to wait for it to break a smaller time frame demand, okay? So again, the 1 minute chart, we have demand form right here. So when I see this form, I don't want to get short unless this demand zone breaks. If this demand zone breaks, then I know, okay, higher time frame supply, shorter time frame demand break, that's my confirmation to get in short. It simply doesn't happen, okay? So price comes down, we never break demand, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to hold off, not going to touch it. Unless this breaks, then I can look to get short, right as it breaks, put a stop above that high, target back down to demand or somewhere else, right? Whatever my trade plan is. But here, I'm like, okay, price hits demand, we end up crawling back higher, we take out this high, I'm like, okay, now we got a real uptrend established here, right? This is an uptrend, right? We have a high, a lower low, or sorry, a lower high, and a higher high, okay? When I see that happening, I'm like, okay, now I don't want to get short, right? Why would I want to get short? Short term, we're in an uptrend. So now I'm thinking, okay, this is our new demand zone, right? I'm gonna make it green so you guys can tell the difference. So we have this 1 minute demand, we have this 15-minute or hourly supply zone, right? Price comes up to it. Now you're thinking, okay, do I want to get short yet? Do I want to get long? What do I want to do? Well, price is still in a supply zone. So if price is in supply, I don't really want to be getting long. But we haven't broke demand yet. So I don't really want to be getting short either. So in this case, I simply don't do anything, right? And then price ends up ripping higher. Okay, and at this point, I know, okay, we've actually broken out of this supply zone, so I don't even want to get, I'm not even thinking of getting short, right? Smaller time frame is literally telling us that we're in an uptrend, right? Smaller time frame is saying we made a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, okay? There's no reason to ever be bearish at this point. Okay, even though we're coming up in supply, even though if we zoom out, we're still in the downtrend. Oops. Just like this, right? We're still in this downtrend. So we're expecting another move lower, right? I don't want to get short because the smaller time frame on the 1 minute chart has not told me to get short yet. There's no reason to ever be bearish, right? There's nothing that's been told me that there is any sellers in this area, in the supply zone, okay? So when this happens, I'm thinking, okay, so we can get rid of the supply zone. We're already way past it, right? This demand forms. And actually, we come up, we break this high again, we pull back, we break this high. Now we have a new low, right? We have high, low, high, low, high, right? This is our trend. In an uptrend, we expect lows to hold, okay? We expect these lows to be hold. And if these lows don't hold, then we may see price go lower. So what happens? We can even zoom out to like a 5 minute now and say, okay, well, let me get rid of this. Price comes up. We have this 5 minute demand zone right here, right? Price comes down to demand. Now we can look for longs, right? Simple as that. Price has told us we're in an uptrend, we're above supply, right? Why wouldn't I want to look for longs? Why would I want to look bearish, right? This is our most prominent demand zone right here that we need to hold. This is the last low that we have before this high was made, okay? This low does not count. You may be thinking, Jordan, what about this low? You know, price went higher, went like this. We broke that low, right? This is price breaking demand. Shouldn't we be bearish after price breaks this demand zone? The answer is no, because this low was not really able to take out this high. This is what we call a stop hunt. Okay, we just barely take out the top and immediately reverse. Okay, this is not a real high being broken here. And if you don't have a real high being broken, that means this is not a real low. And if that's not a real low, then we can still be in an uptrend even if it breaks. Okay, I know that might be a little complicated. Feel free to go back that and read that again. But price go ahead, we come back down to demand. Now we can look for longs at demand, put our stop right below. We rally higher, and it's just been going up and up and up ever since. We've been breaking multiple supply zones in the process, right? So now with the thesis in mind of, okay, price is in this higher time frame uptrend. We have now confirmed that we are back in a uptrend because we broke this supply right here, right? Now, this demand zone, or it'd probably be a daily demand zone. Yeah, this daily demand zone, I'm going to look for longs here, okay? Price is in an uptrend. This is like real time. You can use this too. I'm going to look for price to go and take out this high. If we get a pullback into this demand, I'm going to look to buy, okay? Because in the shorter time frame, right, price has taken out this supply. So that has shown me that buyers are now in control. These buyers are strong because they were able to take out this supply, which means I want to be looking bullish now. Now, am I going to buy all the way up here? No. Why would I buy all the way up here? Okay, I'm going to wait if there's a pullback to this demand zone here. If there's no pullback and price just goes up, price just goes up. I'm not going to chase it all the way up here. Like, I'm going to wait for price to come down. If it doesn't come down, I don't take a trade, whatever. I'll look for something else, okay? If price does come down, then I can simply do two things, right? Just like we talked about. If I want to confirm, or if I don't want to be confirming, you know, what I can do is simply just get in right at the top, put my stop down to the lows, target the highs, right? If I want to be a little more cautious, have a little more confirmation, I can zoom in on a 5 minute, say, okay, when price does come down here, it's going to be a downtrend. So we're going to see something like this. I can simply wait for price to break the downtrend on the smaller time frame like this. Boom, price breaks that high. Now I know we're back in the uptrend, okay? Then I can look for pullback to get long and put on a trade something like this, just like that. Or if we're getting in this pullback here, we could put our stop right at that low, then target the high, and then target the higher time frame high for a beautiful 5-hour trade, okay? Now obviously this is an example. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, you guys will be able to see as this gets put out, but this is what I'm going to be looking for. Okay, and this is how I trade my supply and demand. I simply look for the smaller time frame and say, okay, let me zoom out. Price is coming up into the supply, right? Do I want to look to get short? Has price broken demand on the smaller time frame? No. If the answer is no, there's no reason to get short. Okay, all you have to do is zoom in and understand what's going on. If price is not breaking that demand, you don't want to be getting short. All right. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, stay until the end. I want you to DM me the word, let's go with time frame. If you DM me the word time frame on Twitter, first link in the description, so down below, I'm going to guarantee you a spot inside of my private mentorship group. Okay, so my private mentorship, we teach you how to be consistently profitable in just 8 weeks without relying on alerts, without trading more than 1 hour a day. Okay, so if you go on Twitter and DM me the word time frame, I will guarantee you a spot inside. All right, we only take on 15 people every single month. I get over 100 applicants every single month, so we do have to cancel a lot of people out. But I'm going to guarantee you a spot inside and see if you're a good fit. You can hop on a call with someone from my team. We'll see if you're a good fit, and I'll still try and point you in the right direction if we see that you're not a good fit. All right, so it's a win-win no matter what by booking a call with us. So go ahead, DM me the word, what was it, time frame on Twitter. Okay, first link in the description. I post a lot of threads on Twitter. I'll see you all in the next video.